Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to our special Picks of the Month edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This is our Picks of the Month video for June 2023, and you can tell by Gandalf peeking out from behind that card that we are going to be looking this time at the top 10 hottest Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth cards. Quick note about this video series, though, it does come out once a month. It does go to the gold patrons first, though, so by the time you see this video on YouTube, it could be about 24 to 48 hours later. Some of the prices could have and most likely did shift to some degree, because these cards are still pretty turbulent. But yes, packs are getting cracked. There's new strategies coming out around these cards all the time right now. So these prices will be in flux for a while still. But at least for right now, these are the top 10 cards that you want to crack out of a booster pack. Now, all the cards in this list are going to be from the regular set. I'm sure we'll be discussing cards from the Commander decks in various Market Watch videos in the future, so stay tuned for that. Quickly though, before we get started, one last reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can order Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth products there. You can also now pre-order Commander Masters products, plus they have a whole lot of other things on their website. Remember, if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated, so thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Our number 10 card is Aragorn the Uniter. This is at $7.50. I have seen some trying this in Modern Domain Zoo, but right now the key driver for the card is Commander. It is turning out to be a popular Commander choice out of this set, and it's also in the 99 of a few builds too, like Joda the Unifier for example. Number 9 is Palantir of Orthanc, $7.99. I have seen some trying this in a number of builds in different formats. Modern and Murktide Regent, Legacy and Death's Shadow, and a new Stompy build, Vintage and Prison Shops. We'll have to see how it does in those formats, but one thing is clear already. It's a popular Commander card showing up in decks old and new. Many are already picking this up to upgrade the Hosts of Mordor Commander deck, and it's in fresh builds around a few cards from there. Sauron, Lord of the Rings, Saruman the White Hand, and Lord of the Nazgul. Plus, you're seeing this in Commander builds around a number of cards from the main set too, like Sauron the Dark Lord, Saruman of Many Colors, Galadriel of Lothlorien, Samwise Gamgee, Frodo Sauron's Bane, and Elrond, Master of Healing. Number 8 is Spiteful Banditry, $10.99. This is an interesting enchantment that can wipe the board when it enters the battlefield, but sticks around and potentially gives you more value later in the game. I have seen some trying this out already in modern builds like as a control and generic Ragavan. Beyond that, this is another card that some are getting to upgrade the Hosts of Mordor Commander deck, and others are putting these in fresh Commander builds around Sauron Lord of the Rings and Saruman the White Hand. Plus, it's in a number of early Commander builds around other cards from the main set, Sauron the Dark Lord, Tom Bombadil, the Balrog Durin's Bane, Gimli Mournful Avenger, and more. Number 7 is Gandalf the White. He's peeking behind all the cards today. $11.65. This is shaping up to be a solid Commander card and combo enabler in the format. We have seen cards that do similar things before, but this is a legendary creature, so it can be your Commander, and many players are giving it a try there. It's also already found in the 99 of a number of builds old and new. Additionally, many are picking this up to upgrade the new Food and Fellowship Commander deck. Others are putting it in fresh builds around a couple of the partner commanders from there, Frodo Adventurous Hobbit, and Sam Loyal Attendant. It's also working its way in Commander builds around some cards from the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth main set, Aragorn the Uniter, Samwise Gamgee, and Frodo Sauron's Bane. Number 6 is Last March of the Ents at $12, and this is seeing a good amount of Commander play already in several decks old and new. It's also in builds around a number of other cards from Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, like Shelob Child of Ungoliant, Fangorn Tree Shepherd, Aragorn the Uniter, Treebeard Gracious Host, and Smeagol Helpful Guide. Number 5 is our first non-mythic of the day. It's a rare Delighted Halfling, and that is saying something at this juncture past the release. $12.99 currently. This one is already having a big effect on Modern, and it's showing up in Legacy too. Modern though, it's in all sorts of decks right now. Omnith builds, Yawgmoth, Saheeli combo, Devoted combo, Lonus combo, Gruul midrange, Golgari Sacrifice. In Legacy, it's in 5-color Zenith, and I've seen some trying this in Maverick too. And yes, of course it's seeing a lot of commander play as well. Many are getting this to upgrade Food and Fellowship, plus players are adding it to fresh builds around a number of cards from there. 2 different sets of partner commanders, Frollo Adventurous Hobbit and Sam Loyal Attendant, as well as Merry, Warden of Isengard, and Pippin, Warden of Isengard. Still others are putting this in decks around Bilbo Birthday Celebrant from there. And yeah, it's in commander builds around some cards from the main set too, like Aragorn the Uniter, Shelob Child of Ungoliant, and Smeagol Helpful Guide. Number 4 is Sauron the Dark Lord, $13, and this has quickly become the most popular choice to build a new commander deck around in the main set. It is also being picked up as an upgrade to the Hosts of Mordor commander deck, and some are adding this to fresh builds around Sauron Lord of the Rings and Saruman the White Hand from there. Number 3 is Nazgul. Okay, so this is an uncommon, but it breaks the deck limitation rule. So you can have 9 of these in a deck, and there are 9 different pieces of art on the card as you can see on the screen. So right now there's a lot of turbulence in the market when it comes to this set because packs are getting cracked, but let's take a look at where the prices stand right now. They're all on the screen, ranging from $11 to $14.95. Pretty expensive uncommons currently. You should know by now though, when a tribe gets new tools, it typically takes off fast in Commander. This is happening here as players try to assemble Wraith decks. It is a good upgrade to the Hosts of Mordor, but most players are getting this to add it to a fresh build around a card from there, and that's Lord of the Nazgul. To a lesser degree, I am seeing this in new builds around a couple other cards from there, Sauron Lord of the Rings, and Saruman the White Hand. Additionally, this is in other commander builds around cards from the main set too, Sauron the Dark Lord, Smeagol Helpful Guide, Frodo Sauron's Bane, Sauron the Necromancer, and Witch King of Angmar. Number 2 is a card that is already having a big impact on a number of decks and a number of formats. This is Orcish Bowmasters, $34.13. In Modern, this is showing up in a number of places. Yawgmoth, Goryo Through the Breach, Rakdos Midrange, Death's Shadow, Grixis Midrange, and more. Legacy though, this is turning out to be a format-defining card in tons of decks. Grixis Tempo, Painter, Death Shadow, Cephalid Breakfast, Aloran, Maverick, 4-color Loam, Esper Stoneblade, Reanimator, and more. Vintage, you're even seeing this in Esper Tinker, Sultai Midrange, and more there. And it is seeing a lot of commander play too. It's quickly becoming one of the top creatures in competitive EDH, and when it comes to regular commander, the Rules Committee said they are keeping an eye on it due to its power level. Could it see a ban in the future? Time will tell, but right now players are picking this up to upgrade the Hosts of Mordor and Food and Fellowship commander decks, plus they're adding this to fresh builds around cards from those decks. Saruman the White Hand, Sauron Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Nazgul from the Hosts of Mordor, and around the partner commanders Frodo Adventurous Hobbits and Sam Loyal Attendant from Food and Fellowship. Additionally, this is in some commander builds around cards from the main set. Sauron the Dark Lord, Smeagol Helpful Guide, and Saruman of Many Colors. And coming in at number 1, what else could it be? The One Ring, $76.50 just for this regular copy of the card right now. And yeah, this is having a big impact on Modern already, showing up in many decks like Mono Green Tron, Omnith builds, Amulet Titan, Eldrazi Tron, Grinding Station, Mono Blue Tron, Mono Black Coffers, and more. Aspiring Spike this week has been streaming a number of decks with this card, including a pretty spicy One Ring 8 key build that runs Voltaic Key and Manifold Key. In Legacy, I'm seeing some trying this in Painter, Mono Red Prison, 8-cast, and Stifle Knot. And in Vintage, this has appeared in Paradoxical Outcome, Esper Tinker, and Prison Shops. You guessed it, this card is getting commander play too. Many are using it to upgrade the Hosts of Mordor and Food and Fellowship decks again. It's in fresh builds around Lord of the Nazgul and Sauron Lord of the Rings from the Hosts of Mordor. It's in those partner commander builds around Frodo Adventurous Hobbit and Sam Loyal Attendant, as well as in decks around Bilbo Birthday Celebrant from Food and Fellowship. And no surprise, it's in some commander builds around cards from the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth main set, like Sauron the Dark Lord, Frodo Sauron's Bane, Aragorn the Uniter, Tom Bombadil, Smeagol Helpful Guide, and Gandalf the White. This card is the real deal for sure. That's going to do it for our June 2023 Picks of the Month video. What an interesting set. Very hard to determine what's going to happen with these singles long term, just because we've never seen anything quite like this before. Sure, we've seen Modern Horizon sets, but this has the Lord of the Rings IP, it's got the Chase card, the One Ring, and the rare Soul Rings people are looking for. It's going to be interesting to see where these cards are a year from now. Anyway, this weekend we will be back for our regular episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. I'm sure we'll talk about some of these cards there. Until then, though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.